All right, we are back, and so we're gonna try now. I decided I was at the end of the other video when Vista was done installing whether or not to put Windows 7 or try to make Vista work. And I just realized that I don't have a Windows 7 hard drive. I don't think. So it would be beneficial to have that on hand. And so we're going to try and upgrade now to Windows 7. I'm not going to do the whole install process like I did last time because that made the video super long. So I have two things here. I have a Windows 7 professional disk, but I don't know if it does an upgrade or not. And then I have, and that's the original disk. And then I have another disk that says Windows 7 x32 upgrade, which is one that I burned a long time ago. So let's see what happens. So I did find some memory. So now there's 3 gigs here, which is basically the most that you can get, 3.2 out of a 32-bit system. And then I did not put in the video card yet. I want to get through this process first, make sure that Windows 7 works, and then I'll put in the video card, because there's no point really. I'm not going to keep the, let's see, so will it let me? I don't have a key, so let's see what happens. Install. I kind of remember Windows 7 used to have a difference between regular installation and upgrading. Let's see what happens here. So it looks like it is letting me upgrade, so that's good. You know what's funny is this looks exactly like the Vista screen that we just saw earlier. Weird. I'm kind of curious now, what's the difference between Vista and 7? You know, like inside the kernel or whatever. Because they seem to be the same, just from visually, but I'm not sure behind the scenes. There's this channel I watch where it tells you about the development of each version of Windows. It's kind of cool. I forgot the name of it, but they tell you basically how it was made, type of thing, you know, the back end. So I'll have to go back and watch that and find out why they did Windows 7 and why the name went from Vista to 7 and then 8, and then they also explained why there was no Windows 9. There was a specific reason for that. So we'll let this finish and we'll be back once it reboots and it's finishing the setup. Great, so we are finally installed with Windows 7. It took a very long time. I really keep underestimating how long it takes to do anything with a hard drive. And I want to use a hard drive, but it's just so it's so bad. So it took about an hour to install the Windows 7 upgrade. So it is an upgrade, and it did ask me for a key, I think because it was professional and I was coming from business. Now, the last time I did a Vista upgrade to Windows 7, it did not ask for a key. but I was using the same version of Vista in 7, so I don't know if that makes a difference. I just skipped the key part for now. I'll find a key later. So Windows 7 installed, and then the same thing happened. Firefox didn't work, Chrome didn't work, and the game didn't work. The Doom game. So then I put in I put the 3 gigabytes in before. So now there's 3 gigabytes of memory. And so I wasn't able to do anything. And then I found out, I looked around, and I found out there's another version of Firefox called ESR. I think that stands for Extended Service Release or something like that. 115. So I put on this Firefox 115, and then I could use the internet. And then finally I could download the drivers. For some reason, I still could not get the onboard drivers to work, and I was gonna put in a graphics card anyway. I was gonna put in a pretty good one, but I was going through my graphics card and I found this ATI Radeon 5670, which came out of a Dell XPS from 2008-ish, I think. 1 gigabyte, didn't require any extra power, and I think that perfectly matches this system, because it's just a little card, no external power, 1 gigabyte. And now also I was able to download the Magic ISO and expand this Oregon Trail. So now everything works. The Oregon Trail works. I have sound. I plugged in a USB speaker, and the Doom works. I just clicked on it. It does work. I'm just doing the performance index thing again, because remember this was 1.0 before, because we had no drivers. But now with the new graphics card, we'll see what it does. I kind of like this card because even though the card is not very fast, this graphics card, it has VGA, DVI, and HDMI all in the same card, and it's just a little card with, no power requirements. So it's kind of like a good test card for older systems. So I'm glad I still had that around, and it fit nicely in there. So we'll see once this is done. I'll load up the Doom and see what that looks like. And that's it. I have now a Windows 7 32-bit hard drive that I can put in all kinds of older systems as a test bed. I can't remember I'm not sure if it was Windows 7 or... I remember one of the old OSs, like for example, this is a Dell, right? And then you would take out the hard drive and then you would put it in an HP and it wouldn't work. So I'm curious to see if that'll be the case here. But then I think you go into safe mode and then you reboot and then it works or something. I have to see, but the only problem is I wanted to sell this hard drive. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe make an image of the hard drive, put that on an SSD, and then use that as my old PC test drive. And also, coincidentally, where did it go? Since I was here waiting for this thing to install it, I mean, it took like 2 hours total. It was really ridiculous. I found this. I don't know if you can see it. So I picked up a free laptop that was all busted, and I the screen is like coming off, the keyboard was unplugged, and it was just looked like somebody threw it out the back of a truck. But I found this inside of it, so that was nice. So I wonder if I could put the Windows 7 on here and then just have that as an old drive, because then I could use it for laptops as well. So look at this. Wow, look at that. 6.9, 6.9, 5.9, 4.8, 3.9. Wow, that's I mean, back in the day, there was no way you would have had these scores. 6.9, that's a lot. And I didn't know that Windows 7 still had the widget thing here. And see, now with the 3 gigabytes, now look at the memory is 26%, so that's good. I don't know why the resolution's all weird right here. It's like, my monitor I think does that because it was doing that on another system too. Okay, so let's load up Doom and see what that looks like. It's weird, the Doom, for some reason you have to have the CD installed in the drive, even though it's installed on the computer. It did ask me for a key, and I put in one, but it said the key didn't work, but the game still works, so I don't know what that means. So here's the game. Kind of loud. So that works. We'll play the games on a different video at some point. And then the Oregon Trail works. That's a really old game. But yeah, everything works. Windows 7, I just have to put a key in and we're good. So we have Pentium 4 DVD, 1 gigabyte video, 3 gigabytes memory, 500 gigabytes hard drive, in a Dell Dimension 4700. Total cost $40. The video card was kind of free because that was a pull from an XPS, but it'll be fun to try some old games. So it all worked out nicely. I think Vista was just going to be too difficult. I think Windows 7 is the way to go here. I mean, I could put Windows 10, but I think it's more fun to play it on the old system because this is not really for internet. This is just to mess around with old games. And we'll see what we can do. But yeah, if you still have an old Windows 7 machine, let me know what you're rocking. And we'll see you soon.
I get up, I get down.